Well, hello. Happy New Year. It's Riley here. It's Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. It's about 1 in the afternoon, I think, and about 55 degrees here at the garage. And I thought I'd bring you up to speed on the various projects and where we are with things and, well, what needs to happen next. So this may take a few minutes, so buckle up. All right. So let's kind of start out here. This is a 1966 Monza convertible. It has a carburetor stud pulled on the left bank, and we're making a tool that will allow us to drill and tap that in the car without pulling the head and get it centered up properly. And a little bit more involved in that than it may sound like, but I'll do a full video that shows you how I do that. And then I have this 57 Chevy here, and a little behind on this thing. I have a new battery for it, carburetor kit. The tires are new. What we're going to do is just get this thing running and evaluate what we've got and figure out about selling it, yay or nay, and how much and all that cool stuff. So this is belongs to a club member, a fellow club member of mine named Vicky, and this engine is almost ready to go in the car. We found a couple little minor things. I had the valve covers off to adjust the valves a little bit. Got a little leak over here, so I'm going to put one of those really good, or two of those really good silicone valve cover gaskets on this thing. And then I need to clean up the transaxle and mate to this. And what I discovered after I ran this thing, I could hear a noise in the bell housing, didn't know what it was. And if you notice those little marks on the pressure plate, if we come over here, this is the starter that goes with this setup. And what I discovered was the Bendix was not retracting all the way. And so, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of a sharp edge there. It was just barely rubbing on the teeth on the pressure plate. So what I'm going to do is pull the nose off this starter and clean everything up and make sure the spring is in here like it's supposed to be. I suspect it may not be, or it may be just all gummed up. Starters seem to work okay. So we'll figure out what we've got to do with that. All right, and then as we come over here, actually it kind of turned awkwardly. Okay, this is an engine that I bought in Dallas a few weeks ago. It's a 1962 102 horsepower, which should be more or less the correct engine for my 1962 coupe. The only difference is my coupe was an AC car, so there would have been some differences, minor differences in the engine, but that's all beside the point. So I bought this thinking that I had bought a good engine and transaxle, and I paid close to good engine and transaxle money for it. The story was, this had been in a guy's garage for going on 30 years, and it came as a spare engine with a car that he had owned many years ago. So I thought, well, maybe I'm going to get a good engine here. So I rolled it over and heard some chuffing and all that, and I thought, well, let's just see what we've got. So I tore into it at least a little ways, and I found a couple of very problematic things. First of all, the rocker arms just weren't there for cylinder number 6, although it looks like it has been run since those rocker arms have been off of it. Really weird. But here's the part that kind of just scared me off this engine. If you see all this stuff right here, what that is leakage past the valve guides, okay? And so it's basically leaking compression into there, and it's cooked that oil. And so what that tells me at the very least that the valve guides and the heads are worn out. I think the other valve cover is over here. Don't know if you can see it, but it's essentially the same thing. Only advantage is this bank over here actually has all the rocker arms on it. So anyway, pulled the oil pan off. Not the cleanest or the worst that I've seen. A lot of sludge in the oil pan. So anyway, I think what I've come to the conclusion is this is another engine core. This is not something that's going to be able to just go in the car. I could do all kinds of repairs on it. I've got some NOS heads, could replace the jugs, etc., etc. But I need to reevaluate where I am with this entire project. And is it time just to bite the bullet and quit fooling around with all this old wore out stuff and build a brand new engine? If you follow me before, you know that's very involved and it's very expensive. So we'll have to see how that works out for me personally. So anyway, that's kind of where we are with things. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and spending your New Year's Day with me, or whenever you're watching this. I appreciate it if you do the like and follow button and all that stuff. And we're Riley Plays Cars at hashtag. Just look for Riley Plays Cars and you'll find us. Thanks for being here with me. And again, happy New Year to you and yours.